This match is over. He's about to hit him with the big slam.
Again, thanks for your support, and we'll see you at the matches right here, OneWrestling.com. Listen, now that we're alone other than the cameraman here in the dressing room here, you got to copy my book here, okay?
Thank you.
So
You signed it for me.
Well, thank you very much, but I've been all over the world now asking this same question, and maybe you have the answer.
Okay.
Would you mind coming in really close here? Because I don't want anyone else to hear this. Is wrestling fixed?
I didn't know it was broken.
See you at the matches.
Hello, everybody. My name is Connor, a.k.a. Fabe, and welcome to, well, not my channel, obviously, right here on OneWrestling.com, the OneWrestling.com video YouTube channel. We are here with episode 17. Can you believe we made it to 17 and they haven't invited me for every single one? But that's another story. Episode 17 of the Big Slam Nation. Once again, right here on OneWrestling.com and the OneWrestling.com video. But gentlemen, of course, I'm not alone because, well, I've got with me a tremendous group, a tremendous panel of awesome people for you guys to make sure you check out and follow on all the various social media. Don't forget, links are down in the description box below. First and foremost, I guess you can call him the father of the Big Slam Nation, none other than Big Ray. How you doing, Big Ray?
I am doing fantastic. I had a really, really good day. I had an unbelievable night with my beautiful fiance, Jennifer. We went out for a couple of drinks at Mario's, which is fantastic. Go to 32 Avenue A, downtown Manhattan, if you guys ever been there. Then today, I went to see Kung Fu Panda with my son. And
How was that?
That was actually really, really good, dude. There was a moment. I'm going to tell you guys, there was a moment. I'm not gonna spoil anything because I'm sure Ben Hamin's gonna go see Kung Fu Panda, but there was a moment.
Look at the eagerness on his face. He's so eager to see it.
There was a moment where a tear almost came out of my eye. It was just one of the most touching moments in cartoon history. Other than that, I'm excited to know that Sunday Segway, our brand new show here with Kenny Killer, Tom Brady, not the football player, and Fame Black, has gone over tremendously. So I wanted to say to you guys out there, thank you so much. Every single Sunday, Segway TV here at OneWrestling.com. Okay, go ahead, buddy.
I'm a big fan of theirs. I'm glad they're over here with OneWrestling.com. Can't wait to see what the future holds for Sunday Segway. Of course, we got Mr. King of Old School right here, just like old school right here, Mr. Bill Skyla. How you doing, sir? Finally get a chance to talk to you face to face.
Yes, it's the first time we've been here on the nation at the same time. So yes, we are not the same person.
Is that right?
Is that theory?
Apparently, there was talk on the internet that you were my Clark Kent and my Superman.
Listen, records can't prove everything. Okay?
Hey, really quickly, Bill, off the air, you were talking about something about Rob Kimball, who he actually has.
Yes, Rob Kimball at Rob Kimball Brand on Twitter. Old friend of the show, older than the show even, but a great old friend of One Wrestling. Regardless, makes some of the greatest pro wrestling T-shirts out there. I'm wearing one of them right now that I had developed for him. This is Killer Elite Squad done in Japanese cartoonish things, and he's made some couple great new ones for the Big Slam Nation, and they are up and ready to go on Spreadshirt right now.
Very cool.
So check them out.
Nice.
I got an overabundance of wrestling T-shirts, as my wife continuously says. And my son, like, Dad, you can't go out tonight wearing that. Oh, what? You got another wrestling T-shirt on? You got change it into something else. So I'll go and I'll put another wrestling shirt on.
You know what you got to do? You got to hit your son. That works.
Does that work?
I don't own suits. Forget that. Who needs a professional? I just rather, buy a shirt. I mean, that just makes it easier. But I was going to say I'd put all my tax money towards those shirts, but I'm afraid that the guest here might threaten me because he has shirts available as well too. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us.
You got your own stuff.
I do, but there's
no.
But there's someone here who's looking quite menacingly and threatening me.
I'm not. Don't look in the eyes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I can't even see the. All right, just anyway, guest here with us, joining us once again, not threatening whatsoever, at least not threatening to get on the show. Of course, Ben Hamin is once again back on the show here. Ben, how you doing, sir?
YOLO, infidels. Yes, you hear me now, and I could solve all of your problems. I took Big Ray's ex-fiancée Jennifer out to dinner tonight. We had a lovely time without some
Whoa.
for everyone. And Bill Schuyler, how dare you wear some other wrestling t-shirt from Spreadshirts, SpreadYourLegs.com, whatever it was, when you go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Ben Hamin and get the Ben Lebowski shirt, the hottest t-shirt alive. I don't care about your other stupid little t-shirt, man.
Oh,
Hand design, moron, so hear me now. And okay, kayfabe,
he keeps cutting
I
out.
let you
It's
host the
awesome.
show. What you say to me?
I said you keep cutting out, Chief.
I'll cut you out, moron, right here. Cut your throat.
No. We're not doing any throat cutting here, my friend. Can we speak?
At least old kayfabe called me and asked permission to do this show, and that's the only reason why. Scene number is this show today. Ayatollah.
Is there? Hold on. Is there any way we can speak to Ben Deurr?
Oh, son of. You don't want that, moron. Let me see if he's here.
The one time I host this show, and just the one time, peaceful, can't even get through.
Whoa! What?
What?
Put this sound.
What is going on here?
I have no idea.
That's right, it was me the whole time. You never knew it.
Oh my goodness gracious!
All right, WrestleZone invades Ben Deurr.
I-
Ben Hamin, guys, at Ben Hamin.
Oh, I just peed a little. I just legitimately just peed a little there. Anyway, welcome to another edition of the Big Slam Nation right here on the OneWrestling.com YouTube channel. We got a lot of things to talk about, a lot of things to cover, a lot of interesting news, including a breaking development, which I guess we can kind of start off first since this is kind of, well, the latest breaking news here. Unfortunately, none other than Awesome Kong did officially get released from TNA Wrestling as of today. It was officially confirmed by John Gubrick. I can't even pronounce his last name. Gubrick? Gabrick.
You want to know why? Because you do not mess with Maximilian Hardy or his beautiful mother, Rebby Sky.
I wouldn't mess with Awesome. I wouldn't mess with any of them. I'm just throwing that out there right now. I mean,
I gotta be honest. If she was single, I'd mess with her. All due
Really?
respect, absolutely.
Kong or Rebby?
Awesome Kong, duh.
try to get under that. She's trying to get into those Xena warrior outfit. I mean, come on now. Let's be honest here.
But seriously, Awesome Kong. This is like the second time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
She was fired though. They fired her. From my understanding, her contract was terminated due to the incident that happened in the UK. Apparently, a lot more than just tossing her stuff out in the hallway happened from the locker room. And I guess it'll come out as time goes on. But let's face it, she didn't come back as anywhere close to being the Kong she was in the past. Her WWE run as Carmen, I think, ruined her. Plus, she had the baby, and I don't know. She just wasn't as bloodthirsty and as ruthless as she once was. My opinion.
No, I totally hear you on that one, and I kind of agree on that. I mean, to be fair, we're not 100% sure what the actual incident happened. We kind of know that it involved her and Rebby Sky, or Rebby Hardy as she's now referred to. So it stinks to see someone who once again getting momentum in the Knockouts division, really a cornerstone of that whole division for TNA as far as building it up back when she was during her first run. So it's a bummer. I was actually talking with Ben off the air as far as like what's next for her, and Ben, you had a little enlightening about what you think is going to happen next with Kong. You think she'll go elsewhere and succeed?
Yeah, man, I think she could just show up at Ring of Honor this point, and it's a draw for her to come in, especially in that new up-and-coming ROH women's division.
Yeah,
and just destroy everything and really turn it up, and people are going to want to see just Ring of Honor, and that could be a significant bump for them in that women's division. So maybe at the right time, who knows? If it's something psychotic she went, hopefully she can get that under control so she doesn't burn another bridge.
Now, Ben, what I did here, now, if you guys don't listen to the WZ Daily every Wednesday, it's 12 to 1. I'm there with Nick Hausman. You can follow him at WZ Rebel, and also WrestleZone at WrestleZone calm. I actually heard Ben, and I want to hear if anybody knows. Apparently, Baby Maxwell had a full diaper, and Awesome Kong took one to the face. Is that true?
Yeah, actually, that's what it was. Everyone thinks Maxwell's so great.
No.
Maxwell's cocky. Don't let this goo goo gaga routine fool you.
He's a dirty heel, bro.
He
Yeah,
is
just as bad as his old man.
not
He,
mess with
he,
him.
he was taunting me on Twitter that he's got 3 times as many Twitter followers as I do.
Jeez.
And I'm telling you what, I'm coming up on 2 care how stable. I'll take him right over to Hamin, give him one on the bottom and the face.
Now, check this out. Now, Ben, listen, buddy. You keep cutting in and out, so we're gonna ask you to repeat yourself at times. But apparently, what I'm hearing here is that if Baby Maxwell were to hit you with a full diaper to the face, you would have a problem with this young man.
I would not be happy about it, so I could see this kid's a heater. He's trying to instigate and start things in the TNA locker room. I put it all on him.
I mean, is there anyone who would honestly be like, hey, a kid just threw a loaded diaper at me? Nah, it's cool. I'm fine with it.
No, but in all seriousness, okay, Fabe. Awesome Kong, she is a legend in the business. Legit. I think this woman's been all over the world, from Japan all the way to the UK, to the United States, Mexico, everywhere. And I just think, in order to again, this is in my humble opinion, in order to be in this business, you have to be smart. You can't throw the luggage allegedly of the world champion's wife into the hallway, no matter what kind of heat you have. Again, if it were me, I would have handled it a different way. I would have been professional. I mean, I've done it a bunch of times in the past where I've been on interviews here, or just in real life. I mean, only one time I think I choked somebody out at work, but other than that, I mean, the fact is that
Who hasn't?
Well, I know you. What do you do for a living again, Bill Schuyler?
I'm an adult babysitter for the state.
So you're a corrections officer.
Yeah.
A 6'4" corrections officer. So I'm sure you've had to put your hands on a couple of guys. But in all seriousness, okay, Fabe, and I'm gonna throw it back. I'm gonna throw it right back to you. I think it's really, really sad that Awesome Kong can never get over that hump. It seems like whenever she's right there, with TNA. Or when she was right there with the WWE, there's like a wall, something that stops her from going to that next level. I think she could have been huge in the WWE. I mean, Ben,
talking about self-sabotaging, man. Some people can't ever get over that. They get to a point where it's their time, and it does break my heart too, because Kong is everything I loved in women's wrestling, of breaking that mold of a 90-pound cheerleader piece of ass chick to you, even though they dressed her up like a Viking most of the time. I mean, I was pretty close to her at TNA. I was fortunate enough to go down there, and I didn't see any real issue with that stuff going on. Surprise, but are you dropping me?
Yeah. Say that again. Say the last thing you said. You say you've been with her at TNA?
Yeah. Issues with heat in TNA locker room that would kind of lead to this, where you can feel any palpable tension. It seemed like everyone was so positive. So to see an incident like this happen, but I'll say this for Rabbi Sky, man, we had her in 2CW with Matt come in before she was pregnant, and she was in probably the best condition of her. The kid with some mommy weight on her, she's voluptuous, and I think even more beautiful now than she was then. And not a lot of women can carry that. And boy, I almost hope she doesn't go back to that fitness model look, and she keeps a little of that, because it looks better on her. I think she's more of a draw that way.
Not only that, but okay, or I'm gonna ask Bill if you don't mind. Okay, Bill, I mean, she's pretty damn good on the mic. Like she has a good personality for what she's playing. She's a perfect heel. I mean, in my opinion, I thought she really sold that whole Matt Hardy, think about yourself and the family.
Thing. I've wanted Rebby Sky to come into that company since back before Matt was even there, when they were in Ring of Honor, because I didn't see Matt going there because of the problems that were going on with Jeff before. And she's such a good wrestler, and I was like, she would have been perfect for the knockout division. And she's going to do big things. It's TNA where they are right now has me very impressed, and I haven't felt like this with TNA since years ago in Spike. None of the false little psych-ups that everybody got for Destination America and everything else like that. I just think this Pop TV deal, they're really backing their product up. They've got money, came from somewhere, because they're able to pay somebody like a James Storm more money than the WWE was willing to give him right away, and get the good graces that, you know what, go ahead and go over there, and if it doesn't work out, you're free to come back. I mean, that doesn't happen too often in the business. But
well, it's how you do business, man, that allows you to do that. About to go off on 8 feet from their.
Hold on, repeat that again, Ben.
I said, and knowing you're about to go off 20 feet from the champs, or from the champ's wife, 20 feet from their kid, is not a smart political move to make. Like, that's the most confounding thing of, like, your anger got you that much you thought that was a good decision politically, that this wouldn't blow up into something in your face like that. Whatever that issue is, that she couldn't take a timeout for some phony wrestling to not sacrifice her career, unless
I'm thinking
ROH.
I'm thinking, did she possibly want out of her contract and found a good way to get it done?
Yeah, good, touche. Good point.
I mean, now she's out. She doesn't have to wait.
Yeah, good point. Actually, it's an excellent point. I mean, it stinks because I'm a huge fan of Kong too, just like you guys are, and I feel like she just got back to TNA, and even though she had that long title run when she was doing the first run, she was just kind of taking her time and getting back in that role with the Dollhouse, and I could see the seeds planting for something major. It just stinks that we'll never see what those seeds were eventually going to be. However, go ahead.
No, if I may really quickly, I wasn't a big fan of her with the Dollhouse. I don't think
she didn't fit.
No, me neither.
I don't think Awesome Kong, and I'll give it to you, I don't think Awesome Kong needs a faction. I don't know what they were planning with her. No. Awesome Kong needs to be alone. Awesome Kong needs to rule the women's division in any organization that she's wrestling in. So in my humble opinion, Awesome Kong didn't need to be in that faction. I wasn't enjoying her. I didn't like her talking. Awesome Kong is one of those figures that she needs to talk less and hurt more. Again, my opinion. Okay, I'm sorry.
I think they were doing long-term business with her, though, to bring her in. So
repeat that again?
They would tear her down later, like like Revenge of the Nerds. She's the ogre. She'd be the ogre character, and then later she just goes ballistic, and ogre eventually joins the other side. Right?
I hear you.
I mean, pretty much I think factions in general are designed to break up. I think that's the whole purpose of them, is to build and break. So I kind of agree. Her with the Dollhouse is kind of a weird mix, and I don't like it. But I could see what they were aiming for in the future. At least I was hoping for. So it just stinks that we'll never see that. Go ahead, Bill.
What future we need is, first we got to take a step back a week. So previous or 2 weeks, whenever it was, the interview we had with a certain alpha female from Berlin, Germany. Now is the time for TNA to sign alpha female to replace Kong and be their monster heel for the company. I've laid it out there to Triple H. Is it going to be him or is it going to be Dixie? Which one of them is going to have the cojones to sign this chick to a full-time contract and let her be the monster female wrestling star that she was born to be? Nobody's answered me yet, but we'll see what happens.
One thing that's our major topic that I wanted to talk about here on Big Slam was something that it's kind of an opinionated one. It's kind of out there, but I want to at least throw it out there.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go for it.
I swear to God, is somebody playing the game Trouble back there?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll give you trouble, a 6. Buns are poppin', trouble's poppin', trying to win the race. Trouble's poppin', bubbles poppin', poppin' every place. Kids are poppin', buns are poppin', mom's in trouble too. Grandma's poppin', grandpa's poppin', hoppin' over you. Everybody's poppin' in and out of trouble. Everybody's poppin' the pop-o-matic bubble.
I knew it. I swear. Yes. You know, I grew up playing this game. God rest my father's soul. And as I'm hearing the little pop-o-matic button being popped, I'm thinking about my dad, and it's just a really fond memory. So I'm sorry to interrupt you, dude. I didn't mean to shout you out. I didn't mean to break the fourth wall or anything like that, but I just had to, it's pretty awesome.
We used to have to play, what's the one, the connection when you push it down like the bomb's about to defuse. That's what we had to play all the time, all the stress, to blow your face off.
And that's why Ben always won. Anyway,
Go ahead,
we move on. Speaking of business, one thing I want to throw out there was this past Monday Night Raw was very weird and very interesting. And the reason I say it was weird and interesting is because it was very Dean Ambrose focused. It wasn't as focused as Roman Reigns. Now, most of us probably think that as far as WrestleMania goes, we're probably going to see Triple H versus Roman for the World Heavyweight title. But I wanted to throw it out to you guys. Do you think that maybe WWE might be changing things up a little bit? Everyone is suspecting and guessing that this is going to be the thing that's happened, but do we think that maybe Dean might be? And Ray's shaking his head no. I don't know if it's
I'm shaking my head because it sounds like a really heated game of trouble. It is, right? Okay, I'm just saying. I don't want to insult the intelligence of the fans out there when wrestling, but also I'm shaking my head because I honestly do feel, because basically what you're asking is that you feel that WWE may be kind of turning the corner and maybe changing their minds.
So supposedly, and I'm going to be saying this is supposedly the Royal Rumble main event as far as the finish was changed last minute. And I say supposedly because this was rumored. Apparently the scene when Roman Reigns was taken out by League of Nations and then and taken out back, that was the moment where the finish was changed because instead of Roman being the last one standing, it was Triple H and Dean. Something else to think about as well, too, about this. So I'm just thinking because of this and Dean still being interjected in the main event, do we think that maybe WWE might be changing their plans? Maybe not having Dean in the singles matchup, but maybe having him just involved in the WrestleMania event. I'll throw it out to whoever wants to take it first.
Skylar?
Not all at once now.
I'm not sure. Their creative is all over the place as usual. What they might be, I'm really. They've thrown me so much back and forth with Dean Ambrose and Reigns and Rollins that I really don't have an answer for this. They should be going with pushing Dean Ambrose to be the guy that he is, which is a born heel. That's what he always was before he was signed by the WWE. They should have made him be that heel from day one. Even when they split the Shield up, he should have even. I don't care. He could have turned on Roman Reigns and beat him down too.
It's confusing and troubling. You're kind of just up in the air.
It is. I don't know. And you know what it is? The problem I think you got going now is you have Vince's idea of where it should go. You got Hunter's idea of where it should go. And then you got creative and all the yes guys scrambling back and forth trying who can kiss the most ass in between. And the storylines keep getting mixed up week in and week out. That's my opinion.
Fair enough. Ben, I love your mindset for the business. I love where your head's at. I love hearing your thought process as well, too. And so I wanted to kind of put the target on you on this one because one of the things you're saying, this is a business. We're here to make money. I feel like Dean's more money than Roman right now. And it's hard to put them two together. Money, pro wrestling tees. Ben, I mean... horrible cough.
That cough.
It's really contagious and only $19.99 on Pro Wrestling Tees.
1984, only 1984.
Even see, folks, you get a deal. You don't know what you're missing here. But anyway, am I the only one who's thinking that? Because I feel like Dean's more money than Roman right now. I'm not saying you couldn't make money with him down the road, but I'm thinking if he's the bigger drawer, if he's got more crowd reaction, he's got more heat. Should they go with them? Do you think they'll go with him? I want to hear your thoughts.
I think they're probably equal draw because neither of them are really made superstars either to be carrying a major pay-per-view on their own or being forced on somebody. They're all right in the place they're in as bosom buddies, but in the Odd Couple, you can get a couple baby matches out of them. But I agree, Moxley is way better as a monster heel instead of the Fonz or the bad boy from, what's the 80s movie, Breakfast Club, that he's trying to be now, right? So you need to have circumstance to be a draw. That it's not just, hey, look at this guy's muscles. It's what circumstance are they in? And look at those babies. And who's coming to save them? And is the damsel in distress, and is it the love story? Is it what it is? So if we just have guys who are cool guys, no one's ever going to be a draw because no one has any heat for the cool guy to save them from, or the cool guy needs to save the nerd. or be there at the right time to shut down the master plan, or be kidnapped and be taken away and people fear for him. If we don't have any of those circumstances, nobody's coolness means anything. Everyone's just standing around by the lockers trying to put an act on.
Good point.
All right, I'm going to interject my opinion. And again, Ben, that over the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, I've been saying it, OneWrestling.com, WZ Daily. I think WWE is going to be forced eventually to turn Roman Reigns heel. And
So what?
No, which is good business. I think they should have done it months ago. This is my opinion. I think he will be more over as a heel than a babyface. Again, my opinion. Now with Dean Ambrose,
Is he over as a babyface?
absolutely not.
No. So if you're not over as a babyface and you turn heel as a mild babyface, you're going to be a mild ass heel, bro. You're not going to have any stakes.
I'm going to disagree because it's the situation where, again, the fans are clamoring for him to be a heel. So I feel that once he becomes that heel, that demographic, that portion of the audience, which is a huge portion, because I would say 25 to 30% of the fans are Roman Reigns fans, are fans of him as a babyface, and 75%, let's say 75% of the fans just can't stand him because he's a good guy. So I think that 75 is going to take over that 25% if he goes heel.
The only two things he can do to go heel are walk down the ramp and not walk through the crowd, and turn on Ambrose.
And this is what's going to happen eventually, because now here's my feeling. More and more as I've been thinking about this, more and more as I've seen the way the WWE's been booking Dean Ambrose, I'm starting to think that somewhere backstage someone's saying, you know what? We might not go with Roman Reigns. We might have to go with Dean Ambrose to set up a huge babyface heel. I think once Roman Reigns, his character, sees Dean Ambrose holding up the WWE World Heavyweight title, he's going to freaking lose it. And that's where we're going to see the Roman Reigns that doesn't talk, that stares into the camera, that's dripping with sweat, that's freaking an animal, a wild Samoan, if you will. That's when we're going to see that Roman Reigns. He might even take off the freaking padding that Nick Hausman always talks about, that he's wearing freaking protective gear. No. Okay, Fabe, that's natural padding you have, my friend. But what I'm saying is...
It's a bra, but good.
That's fine, a bro, if you guys watch Seinfeld.
It's a bro, that's right, it is a bro.
It is a bro. Serenity now! Anyway, but on all jokes aside, like I said, I honestly think, especially after the reaction, you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is real quickly. WWE is in the Daniel Bryan situation again. I mentioned this on WZ Daily. What do I mean by that? What I mean is that WWE was absolutely forced to bend and break to the yes movement. I think at this point in juncture, because they didn't want Daniel Bryan to win that title, they wanted to put it on who? Randy Orton or Sheamus, whoever the hell it was back in the day. I can't even remember. But right now, WWE is in the same position where they really want Roman Reigns. They really want him to be their champion. But they can't. Because no matter what they do, no matter how they book them, no matter how many Royal Rumbles, Battle Royals, 5-on-1, 3-on-1, doesn't matter. People don't like babyface Roman Reigns. But Dean Ambrose can take a crap on a baby in the middle of a freaking ring and still be over.
Yeah, I mean, boo.
You only have to go back in the family history so far as to die, Rocky, die. Do you remember how hated The Rock was when he came out as Rocky Maivia? So they could easily fix this with him with the fans immediately to the point where it comes out and have it be the business wise, be like, you know what? I'm tired of this, have him back there with Steph doing it and Hunter in the back offices, and you guys are ruining everything about who my family is, who my lineage is, and run this down. Nobody is better than me and my family, et cetera, and I'm tired of trying to be your poster boy and your Boy Scout and blah, 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 and you know what? I'm going to show you what's going to get done. And from that point on, for the rest of the night, he's just destroying talent in ring, out of the ring, backstage.
Okay, so what if they make him, Ben, can I ask Ben, what if they make him a tweener? Like, what if they make him that guy that says, you know what? He comes out, he goes, let me tell you,
Kind of already is.
I'm tired of, because that's the way he talks on the mic. I'm just sick and
When
tired.
you can hear him, when JoJo has it up to his mouth.
Oh, let me put the microphone really close to my mouth. I am tired of hearing the fans talk crap about Roman Reigns. Well, guess what? Roman Reigns is going to be about Roman Reigns. Believe that. And then he's going to go on some tirade in the back. They can do it that. I mean, if you want to put him over that way, he can beat the hell out of Triple H. He can smack Stephanie McMahon on the breast. He can freaking go beat up Michael Cole while he's doing freaking play-by-play. He can smack Jerry the King Lawler's crown off his head, and he can smack a baby if he wants in the audience. I mean, I don't know what else to do. I mean, what the hell do you do? Okay.
One question I'm going to throw out there, because this kind of coincides with this, because I was trying to make this point earlier with Ben was talking about like switching from face to heel. Is that a heat killer, though? Your purpose of turning someone heel is to either have them as a proponent for a babyface or to generate boos. I see your point, Ray, loud and clear. Nobody likes him as a babyface. I can see that. I think a majority of them don't like him a babyface. But does that kill the heat that you would get if you switched him over? It's like, okay, now he's bad. Well, we still don't like him. Did you didn't get my point on that one? I mean, that's
you'd have to play that out and let that run for an entire year of him being a ruthless, without no changing, not halfway through saying, you know what, he's been a little too mean. Let's tame him. No. If you want to say we need to calm him down, you need to turn him up 5 times more heated than he already is, and have him be even that much more ruthless, where he stands alone, where he has nobody because he doesn't trust anybody, he doesn't want nobody's help, and good, bad, or indifferent, he just beats the hell out of you because he can. And why can he do that? Because I'm The Rock's cousin, Alpha and Sika, that's my dad and my uncle. And he could just run down the whole list of everybody there is, and then even talk junk about it with Jay and his Usos.
Dude, he's a 6'4" Samoan animal.
Yeah, you guys, the Usos, you're not down. You're not down with what I'm talking about. That's why you guys took so long to get where you were, and then he could beat the Usos up.
No. You know what I would do? I would actually turn the Usos along with Roman Reigns and have him as his backup. That's what I would do. Because I'm tired of seeing Jimmy and Jay with the stupid paint on their face, dressing like freaking wearing the cross colors from 1994. I would love to see them in freaking black. What do you call them? Like kind of Olympic wrestling tights. Anyway, I just want to see them. I want to see them in dark colors. I want to see them standing behind freaking Roman Reigns like this with their hands crossed with the grill in their mouth. Talk about F yourself. F yourself.
Look like the Samoan SWAT team.
Yes.
What color are you thinking, Ray? Like a dark purple, maybe?
Well, I'm actually thinking something along the lines of a very dark pink.
Really?
Hello?
Bring out their eyes, yes?
Bring out their eyes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Ben, sorry, what was that? What?
No, that's all good, man. With definitely if you're gonna turn them, you always want to have more players on that side of the fence, so it's a believable thing. Otherwise, you got to do. He's like Kane and from he walks the earth, or like a Highlander. You know what I mean? They can't be around each other because they'll cut each other's heads off. So he's got to be a solo guy by himself, or some Taoist along those lines. Kung Fu spiritual guy, and then he unloads. But otherwise, if you do the little mafia clique, that's a dream. But like here's why Roman Reigns isn't over as a baby. It's not that people don't want him as a baby. People are insulted by being forced storylines in office and matches that are predictable. That's why he's not over. It's nothing to do with him not being cool enough or looking good enough or any of that stuff. It's the way he's fed to you, and it's the same way they didn't feed him Daniel Bryan when they wanted it. Now, if you want this suit storyline, here's what I need to squash out all you marks in WrestleZone and
Whoa! I am not a mark.
Yeah, you are. Diaper Boy.
Actually, I am a
so
mark.
So listen up.
He's a
you gotta get rid of this dream in your head that things are going to go the right, cool Martin Scorsese way and look, and business is going to get done and all this shit. And Nick dreams it up, and we all dream it up how it's going to go. No one's running it through the C+ 8-year-old filter, which means if you want to do that, they're going to end up in suits, and that means they're just going to sell out to The Office, and we're going to see the same storyline where they butt up with Triple H and them. Because in their mind, it's always best for business when a guy who can work, who's Triple H or any of that, who could carry a belt, is going to be better than anybody they can make, because he was a star when guys were made, and there are no made guys now except for Brock Lesnar. That's your only made star. So they're always going to make that choice at the end of the day. When it was anything switched backstage? No, nothing was switched during the Royal Rumble. They knew it, and they brought him back there and gave him the information at that time. They always had the plan to do the things the way they wanted to. It's no big, what are we going to do? And as far as any long-term business of getting anybody over, they're not thinking 3 weeks past, because they're gauging reaction. They might have some plan that they want to do, but 3 weeks into it, because of the yes men, because of egotism, because of narcissism, and because of nepotism, things get switched up constantly, and that's why guys get buried, and we have predictable matches because it's easy TV. And then you don't have built stars, you don't have storylines with stakes, and you have internet guys talking with hopes that something's going to get fixed, and it never will, because they have hope in a machine that is broken.
And there's no viable competition yet to make them have to change their
Not
program.
a damn thing.
Point. Excellent point,
Good
Bill.
point. Well, of course, let us know your thoughts down in the comment section below, or hit us up on social media.
Your
Let us know
thoughts
your thoughts.
don't matter. Only my thoughts matter. Infidels, hear me now.
Or, listen to Ben's thoughts and let us repeat Ben's thoughts down in the comment section below.
I got to be honest, okay, Fabe. When Ben talks, I believe, and I'm gonna put you over real quick, Ben. With respect, I'm serious. Ben's been in the business for 10 years, and Ben, look, Ben, dude, I'm not a suck up dude. I tell you straight up how I feel. Ben knows what the hell he's talking about. So when Ben talks, I believe you guys should absolutely listen. I'm not saying you shouldn't have your own opinions, but he has an excellent mind for the business. So if anyone, because I know people from the WWE actually watch this, because we actually got kind of talked to about posting some pictures a couple of months ago. But anyway.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, you don't even know. People from WWE actually watch this. I don't know who they are. A few people from TNA watch this. I don't know who they are. But this is
somebody tell Kevin Owens to unblock me. I used to watch his kid for him too backstage.
Oh, ouch. All I'm saying is somebody needs to sign this guy, Ben Deurr, at least as a creative writer. But again, that's my humble opinion. But anyway, I'm sorry. Okay, Fabe, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
Ben is nothing for nothing, bro. And I haven't known you for a long time, other than since coming in the WrestleZone, because of where you were working out of was a little bit far away from me. But I'm like, this guy would be so perfect if they weren't in the damn PG, PC era of WWE right now. If this was back pre-Attitude Era or Attitude Era, you would be the biggest heel that you have, because what is going on in the world right now? You would, it would just Sergeant Slaughter and all that kind of stuff during Desert Storm. You would just be a monster. And even if they don't want you, I don't understand why Ring of Honor doesn't have you running shit. You should be back there working.
I'm blocked on their Twitter too.
That's crazy. This blocking shit.
Unbreakable Mike Elgin, unblockable Ben Hamin. You heard it here first.
Good, okay.
Hashtag Ben for business. Now,
I love it.
Hey, listen, Ben. I'm not saying you should make it a T-shirt, but
Hey guys, let me say this. Thank you for the putovers, man. And I had my 2-day tryout there at 2008, and my character's hot button. There's no doubt about it. And if you're trying to protect yourself, I can understand why they might not be calling me back. But I got into this game out of improv. I hadn't missed a week in 30 years, and I was weaned from the teat from ECW and Attitude Era. I haven't missed a week since '86, baby. I'm talking about.
Wow.
First show, Andre the Giant, right next to my old man. So I was hooked since that time, and everything I've done in my whole life creatively has led to this point. I've got to work Slaughter, Duggan, Piper, whoever, Tracy Smothers, and more than I could ever ask for. So really, all I'm giving you is improv wisdom from the masters I learned it from, like TJ and Dave, and the teachings of Del Close, and Rip Rogers, Al Snow, and Danny Davis, and Rob Conway, Nick Dinsmore, and Joey Mercury, who gave me more wisdom than I could ever dream for in a 3-year span. So I'm just a big mixing pot of all that, and I can hopefully speak honestly to the business. Thank you for all of that, though, guys.
Really quickly, I'm going to put you on the spot one last time, Ben Hamin. Rip Rogers follows me on Facebook. We actually have gone back and forth quite a few times. I think he has a very solid relationship with Bill Apter. How would you feel, and I'm putting you on the spot right here, how would you feel of maybe doing the show and having Rip come on? Does he have Skype access?
That's the whole issue there, buddy. You're gonna have to find somebody at OVW. Rip, just to get Rip on Twitter, man, and Facebook is really, I think our solar system, something is seriously wrong. Like planets are out of alignment that Rip would ever even get on his phone to that degree. But once he could start selling T-shirts, Rip is giving away what is the equivalent to a $6,000 OVW education through Twitter. And it kind of pisses me off because I had to pay for it. And but if you tune into Rip's Twitter, you will be one of the best wrestlers there is if you take everything he says to heart. And he's made more WWE superstars than anybody. I'd love to be on with him because I'll get the best performance out of him. But getting him on here, you're going to have to go to Kentucky.
So you're not answering my question. Does he have Skype access?
I mean, you're going to have some worker set it up and set him down in front of it. It's at OVW. Yeah, he'll do it on a Saturday morning, man.
Yeah,
he's the hustler, baby. Yeah, he's hustling all the time. If he can sell a T-shirt out of it, you're damn right he's going to do it.
I'm getting our best guy on it, Skylar.
Can we keep him PG?
No, you ain't
That's
keeping.
what I thought. Okay, so this is
No way.
adult-oriented.
That's not safe for work version. Don't even try it, B. Don't even try. You can't make it through a sentence.
Big Slam Nation after hours. Good to know.
There we go. We can do that.
Good. Okay.
After hours.
Take it over.
Anyway.
That's exclusive content right there. And
I'll be more
get
than happy to work on it. Yeah.
Now I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, yes. So I was going to transition over from Dean Ambrose and all that fun stuff as far as business to someone who's been really good in business with WWE, arguably, is AJ Styles. Merchandise sold out in under a week. Under a week. That's ridiculous. No one's ever had. And then apparently they're going to be selling the hoodies next, but that's not the point.
What about the gloves? Is still in the gloves?
They got to do the gloves at some point.
What about the action figures?
Yeah. They're working on it from what I've heard.
I heard he's got heat from it.
Oh,
why?
Already?
He signed with that wrestling figures exclusively for the first thing to be released when he was in New Japan, Steen 2. So they released the first figures, and Vince always wants exclusivity. And
no, I heard something about that they came out with a blue and white AJ Styles vibrator.
Yeah,
the phenomenal, and they call it the phenomenal one.
Phenomenal one.
Apparently, it hums to his theme song.
It does.
Jennifer and I were looking at him in the store earlier.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Is that why she wasn't answering my text messages? She doesn't need the big one, buddy. She's got me.
She got the Magic Mike Double XL.
Phenomenal. So the whole
they're going to make huge money off of those gloves because AJ made more money than God over in Japan selling them gloves alone. He made more off his gloves than the T-shirt sales, and that's telling you something because the Bullet Club T-shirts were freaking ridiculous. Over there, they could sell those T-shirts to people in hotels and stuff that were dying for them because they were sold out. Literally, guys are paying like $200 American for a T-shirt.
Yo, Bill, I would do an AJ Styles wig, just like that the hair coming down on the side.
Bill
I would do it.
If anyone could pull it off, it'd be Bill Schuyler. But the reason I wanted to bring up AJ was I used to
have the long hair like that.
Oh, did you?
I can't.
Oh, not like that. I used to have the long hair.
Bill, send me all right. Well, quickly, send me your best photo, and I'll have some fun with Photoshop. Anyway, listen. The whole point I wanted to bring up with AJ Styles was the first feud. It seems like he's having right off the bat with WWE. Bam is kind of a dream match that a lot of people wanting to see with against Chris Jericho. But my question is, AJ's obviously been a huge free agent. Was a huge free agent, huge hot commodity, huge wrestling name no matter where you go. My question is, the feud with Chris Jericho, do we think it's the right time, or do we think it's maybe a little too soon that they maybe should have waited for this down the road, maybe even something around WrestleMania?
Want to jump in? Yeah, I'm going to take it really quickly because I'm going to say it real quick. At first, I said to myself, maybe it was a little too soon. But if you want to, like, I'm gonna use the terminology that Ben Hamin uses, strap a rocket to this guy. Who better than to put him over? Who better than to put him in a ring with a 6-time WWE World Heavyweight Champion, a 10-time or 11-time, I think it's a 10-time Intercontinental Champion, Chris Jericho, a phenomenal worker, great on the mic, somebody you don't need AJ Styles to talk. Chris Jericho will definitely talk for him. And just will give you a phenomenal match. The only thing is that I was just surprised at how huge AJ Styles looked next to Chris. I'm sorry, how huge
weird.
Chris Jericho looked next to AJ Styles. But long story short, I think if you are, again, in the words of Ben Hamin, going to strap the rocket to a guy like AJ Styles, to a guy that people may not totally know exactly who he is and what he's about, I think Chris Jericho was a good move, and to do it now, because now I'm starting to believe that they have a bigger picture in mind for AJ Styles. I want to hear what you guys think, but I got to be right back, guys, so I got to step away. I have a son that needs me. 1 second, all right? Keep rolling.
Cool. Ben, you look like you want to jump right there after that horrible transaction that I had with Bill Schuyler and putting AJ Styles' hair on him. But go ahead. What were you going to say, sir?
That's all good. I was just going to say I thought the match with Jericho was exactly what WWE needs to do. If they're going to turn a corner, this is it. And that's just kick it with incredible wrestling. Let them wrestle. Wrestling gets over, and wrestling will get guys over in the beginning. Later we can have storyline. That's what got Daniel Bryan over, same way. And here's Jericho, coming off of an incredible Royal Rumble performance, pulling 50 minutes, doing the real legwork Hall of the Rumble when he's the guy who could be kicking back on his name and letting guys feed for him and him looking sharp. Instead, he's getting over all the massive guys of the Wyatts. He's doing all the spots from beginning to end. And then he goes and pulls a strong 15 with AJ on Raw on his premiere, where there's real stakes of, we got to get this kid over. And at the end, he does the baby finish. But even bigger than that, he gives AJ Styles the ring. So instead of saying, here's my baby face rub and I'll raise your hand, he's saying, you're that much of a star that you command this ring yourself, and thank you for a strong match. Now, if we go into a series of competitive matches that way, that'll just be awesome wrestling. And, Jericho can turn up the flamboyance if he needs to, especially if he loses and he starts getting pissed off. He can turn into heel Jericho, and that's going to be what you want, because to get a baby over, you put heat on your heel and you make your baby off of your heel. So that's what we need from them. We got the good wrestling. Now Jericho will add a little stakes and charisma to it, and we can go somewhere. Here's where they're screwing up, is you're not going to get max value, because now you're going to trickle in the Bullet Club here and there and try and form it together, maybe around Baylor. Instead, they should have shown up at the end of that baby finish and piss stomped Jericho and turned him heel right there, and had that faction come in fully locked and loaded and taken over the whole show. And you really could have done a New Day on Raw and really switched things up and introduced your NWO right off of that. But now we have the chance for locker room politics and heat and this to split things up, and you may never get the Bullet Club that your little hearts dreamed of, just like I was talking about earlier with other storylines.
And the reason, unfortunately, that all happened was because the contracts didn't all fall in line, because Gallows was still his contract ended up right, I think, the day after the Rumble.
You show up, man.
Carl Anderson.
Show up and let the lawyers handle it.
Yeah,
you're
right.
A $200,000 slush fund ready to go to pay off anybody who needs to open their mouth to feel butthurt about it, and that is worth it for the buzz online. That is easy guerrilla marketing. You could make that back in a weekend selling T-shirts. So it's a huge botch. Huge.
You could have even opened that up, which is something I know for sure that Triple H would love to do, is the fact that mention that, that's New Japan Pro Wrestling Bullet Club. Why are they here? And then actually co-promote it, and then you have that. Get them guys to do a joint pay-per-view to get. Look how much money Ring of Honor.
You have Kent to go back and after he takes the belt off of Shinsuke should have showed up with the belt. He takes it back, lays it down with Japanese honor, and then comes back. Now we have none of that. We have a trickle in. We have to get each of these guys over individually, build them around Finn Balor, do this whole long storyline. It's going to be force-fed, convoluted, Have we not seen this with Roman Reigns and the Shield? It's going to be tough to get some of these guys over and get it to believable now. Instead of one big shot and the whole product gets a big shot of adrenaline right in the ass. You don't know what segment anyone's coming out. They could show up on any show. Nope, we got none of that.
What did I miss, guys? What did I miss?
You missed Ben's brilliant booking. That's what you missed.
I think I think I quoted you on or I heard you on WZ Daily.
Yeah,
actually.
It's the same thing I said on WZ about how they should have brought AJ, in and with the club afterwards. They could have stomped out Jericho after the baby match. But now we're going to do a limp in with Bullet Club, and it's not going to have nearly the impact as it should have.
What I think they should do is they should actually bring Baby Maxwell in. And Baby Maxwell should be the manager of AJ Styles. And every time he's about to hit the Styles clash,
he's the mastermind.
Just a diaper to the face. Every time, a diaper to the face. I want you guys to hashtag that diaper to the face. Anyway, guys.
No words. Just a diaper to the face.
Diaper to the face. I don't think they have any. I don't think they had any plans on having AJ be part of the Bullet Club in the WWE.
Really?
I think they see Finn Balor as the Bullet Club guy. And they're going to go with that. Finn is going to I'd put cash money on it. Finn Balor is going to turn heel and take over in Dallas. The Bullet Club is going to show up that day. They're going to come out and they're going to beat the living hell out of Samoa Joe in the match, before, after, whatever. And you're going to see the Bret Hart, Stone Cold thing done.
Double switch,
and Joe is going to go back from being the heel, unfortunately, to the face, and you're going to make Finn be the heel. And,
now, really quickly, though, I mean, there was a developing faction on Monday Night Raw. I don't know if you guys actually saw this, but on Monday Night Raw, apparently Hulk Hogan, the Macho Man, The Undertaker, and The Rock are in some type of faction, and it was so weird because The Rock was interviewing The Rock. I mean, it was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I mean, is this faction, this Mega Powers faction, going to invade NXT?
It could be. What was the guy's name? Dude.
Brother.
Brother.
What an idiot.
They're doing stand-ins for the Hall of Fame. Like, those guys are the old fake Kane and fake Diesel.
Let me tell you something. If The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, came to me and I was dressed up like the Macho Man, did you hear the guy's freaking imitation? He was like, hey! Dude,
he sounded more like Kamala than he did.
How difficult?
How do you blow that?
How do you not go? Ooh, yeah.
I literally said on Twitter as soon as it happened, I said, "Well, there was your shot at glory and fame on national television. Bravo."
Yeah, you didn't even get a YouTube moment out of that. That was terrible.
Anyway,
Botchamania.
I love Botchamania, by the way. One of my favorite YouTube sites. I don't care if Botchamania steals and copywritten material. They're my favorite freaking show on YouTube. I love those guys.
I've actually spoken with Matthew, the guy who creates it. He's a very cool, nice guy.
Matthew, not Matthew.
Right, Matthew, because Matthew's a botch. Anyway, we'll move on to the next little topic here. Speaking of, well, I guess you could call this a botch. Jim Cornette back in the wrestling news, as it would seem. Yeah. Now, I say could be a botch because, of course, this is his own opinion, but it kind of coincides with two pieces of news. The first and foremost is Lucha Underground, one of the hottest, newest promotions out there, television series that is producing phenomenal, in my opinion, phenomenal storylines, phenomenal action, and just great television overall. Not just wrestling, but just great television as well, too. Renewed for a third season, which we might even see this year, which is the very interesting part. They haven't released an official date, but Lucha Underground has officially confirmed a season 3 will be renewed. But the bigger story really is apparently Jim Cornette decided to voice his own public opinion and you could say trash Lucha Underground, but more give like critique and criticism. I'm trying to be fair here, Ray. I'm trying to be nice.
I'll tell you about Jimmy Cornette. Is, in my opinion, one of the greatest minds in the business ever. I think he still is very much. He knows what's going on, and he knows what's right in the business, and he knows what's wrong.
He's a troll, dude.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Straight up troll.
Right.
People take him too serious. By the way, I got to go to ProWrestlingTees.com again, www.ProWrestlingTees.com, and get that Jim Cornette face pick T-shirt.
Over the face, yeah.
Anyway, proceed.
But he is absolutely
or a
correct.
Hamin.
Lucha Underground is not a wrestling program. That is a television product that's got, all kinds of supernatural. I mean, it's different. It's exactly what they said it was going to be when they first said it was coming out. It was going to be a different direction for pro wrestling, and it was going to go beyond that. And Lucha is not pro wrestling as far as we are used to it in the States, because it has the whole culture behind the masks and all the supernatural aspects and the cult things. And there's so much stuff that goes on in Lucha. And Jim really hates the acrobatic stuff in the ring, but where nobody sells for something, which I love the Young Bucks. I love all those guys. I love what they do. But I see his point where in that if a guy can sit there and deliver like 75 super kicks to the face, they can do the Meltzer.
Or 8 diapers to the face. I'm going to continue to push that hashtag.
Yeah. Or super kick a 9-year-old.
Nobody sells in the ring for any move that's done. What can you? Where does it end? It's just
sucks,
it's ballet. Yes, you got it.
Let me jump in here, man, because I'm right in the middle of this.
You are the man.
I'm right in the middle of this. So I'm OVW, through and through originally, right? And that's Rip Rogers, Jim Cornette, and Bolin. However, Cornette and Danny, but Cornette was never there when I was there. I missed him the whole time, and right when I left, he came back. But the exact mentality runs through all of that, right? So everything we're taught to do, especially in a Southern style, is bing and sell, rhythm, timing. The tag match is based around a tag. It's not based around moves and spots. Yeah, what's up, buddy? I see you.
There he is.
This is my 7-year-old son. He's 4 foot.
He looks just like me.
He's 4'8". I kid you not. Oh, anyway, go ahead. Continue.
Halloween, I want him to go as Ben Amin.
Yeah, all the kids will. And
I'd love to have
Aiden, can you do me a favor? Can you go, Ya Allah, moron? Try it. All right, he's gone.
I can't wait.
Go clean your room.
Ray, if you make him as Ben Hamin for Halloween, please just do me a favor and record the parent-teacher conference right after that. That's all I want to see.
Dude, can I tell you something? I swear to you, I swear on everything I love, Ben, I will dress my son up as you this freaking Halloween. I just got to get the boots with the little curls on them.
Yes.
Ya Allah.
SteveTheShoeman.com if you want Ben Hamin boots.
There we go.
So here we go. So those guys I've heard time and time again of this phony bullshit nonstop about nobody selling, planches, guys jumping off the Empire State Building in the first match, so the last match means nothing. All this has been drummed into OVW guys' heads over and over again. So now I go to become a 2CW regular for the next 4 years, where I have this mentality, and now the Young Bucks come in and they win me over because they're charming dudes. And, I'm in the Northeast where indie wrestling is far different than down south. So I'm in this to win it, and I have to accept the way wrestling is. But at the same time, I've seen guys take a super kick, do a flare bump, and that's their or give a super kick after they take a bump, and then they do a double down. Like he was strong enough to give a super kick, and then he just passes out. Things like that blow old-timers' minds. I've stood next to Demolition backstage and watched guys have a match, and, we're watching it. I'm into it. I'm like, yeah, I'm standing here next to Smash, watching this stuff, and then somebody does something stupid like that, and he just turns and looks at me to check me if, I realize what just happened, and all I can think of is Rip, Danny, and those guys running through my head of phony bullshit, this match is over, you just burned wrestling. And that's everything they talk about all the time, and that's their mentality. So you can work a wrist lock for a whole match for an hour if you know how to do things properly.
Absolutely.
You don't need 75 super kicks and 80 guys doing planches. And when they see that, it just drives them nuts. And they can't take it. They're curmudgeon old men, and they'll never understand. I invited Cornette to come up and face off with the Bucks through his wife, and he stood down. So the fact that he's a troll, the reality is he's working the internet just like I am, except he's over and I'm not over, as Rip Rogers would tell me time and time again.
Yeah.
And the fact is, when Cornette says something sucks, what are people going to do?
They're going to say it sucks too.
No, they're gonna tune right in and
No,
say
they're
F
gonna-
you.
No, they're gonna
F
agree
you,
with
Jim
him.
Cornette.
No.
Not
Ben's
the
right.
Controversy creates
Ben's right.
cash.
Younger
Controversy
Ben's right.
creates cash.
Ben, what are you talking about? Everybody knows that when Jim Cornette talks, it is absolute pro wrestling gospel. I'm talking about the internet wrestling community.
He got the Bucks over. He got Steen over.
I think
He
you know.
did.
I think you know I'm working you right now, right?
Yeah. I'm saying to the internet fans. So if you got an issue with what Cornette's saying, that's a real heel worker saying exactly what you don't want to hear about Lucha Underground, and it's going to drive you to that product as a new fan.
You're exact. I mean, look what happened to
Ding,
Ring
ding,
of
ding.
Honor and Kevin Steen
I know what happened.
and El Generico, where those guys were. I mean, yeah, they were known here and there, but they blew up so huge, and look where they are now. You know, and these are guys that Cornette was working with. So, I mean, he knew the talent that was there, or they would not have been in the spots they were in. But he played that cool as could be, and it was awesome. And I always give a shout out because Sami Zayn, for me, is a guy that worked in a mask and stayed kayfabe all the time. When you ran into him when he was El Generico,
Okay,
he would only-
Absolutely.
he would only
Yeah, I'm
speak.
like what?
He'd speak a little Spanish to you, and if you started going off back with him with too much Spanish, he'd walk away. But never doing promos. But now he shoots and does he's like one of the best faces out there on the stick of a guy that wasn't talking his entire career. I love Sami Zayn. He's one of my favorites.
Hey, Bill. Before we move on, really quickly, where did you? Because I don't know if Ben Hamin knows. You did train also, right? I'm just because a lot of the fans don't know that you actually trained.
Oh, he got trained.
How big are you, dude? You're like 6'4", right?
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
6'3" in the pants. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm 6'3".
That was after the training. That was after the training.
Back in the day, I was over 300. You know, I didn't train for that long because circumstances didn't allow it. It was before ECW was the Tri-State Wrestling Alliance in Philadelphia, and with Joel Goodhart and Todd Gordon were the owners of that, and it was basically a similar situation of just what your indie promotions are today. You're bringing in the big names. He spent too much money, just like Paulie did, where he was bringing in so many big guys for the talent and trying to build up his younger guys in their school, that eventually the check started bouncing and it went under. And I had to I had a life. I had to continue on. I had to do what I had to do. So I never got to get into that full blown. And luckily for me, I didn't stick out and pay the $3,500 up front that they wanted, because
Very
I
good.
screwed out of it with a company that closed 6 months later. But regardless, I was in the ring just enough and around enough for the guys just to know enough that made me.
Well, the thing is that
I know you're famous in the locker room for having the softest hands in the locker room. Everybody knows that. Your legacy goes back to decades of being Mr. Soft Hands.
Whoa. What are we talking about here? Where are we go? I know, I'm sorry. Are we talking? Anyway, speaking about TNA.
His nickname was Mr. Snuggles. What?
Snuggles? Speaking about TNA, okay, Fabe?
Yes. That was the best segue.
That was a horrible segue.
That was the best in the world. Yes, the last subject I want to talk about, and this kind of coincides with what we were talking about with TNA at the beginning. And while I'm not going to go into too much as far as the spoilers for their tapings from the UK tour, it did come out after their UK tour that unfortunately Davey Richards, one half of the Wolves, was unfortunately injured. Apparently, the injury was much worse than they initially reported. It was originally supposed to be like a minor knee issue, but now his whole MCL might be a huge concern. Yeah, it's bad.
I'm sorry, Ben. Did you hear something different, or?
No, that just makes me upset, man. 'Cause
Yeah, it sucks,
Wolves,
man.
Yeah.
Wolves are a big part of 2CW legacy, and I was just with them in TNA, and him and Angelina were cool enough to give me some time, and that only got transcribed. But, you know, this guy's going all in on life right now as far as going to get his EMT certification. I think he's got done. He's in med school to be a doctor. And he's got baby on the way, mad bills to pay. And March 15th, Little Wolf is due. So, you know, he's hopefully going to be taken care of by TNA, and I hope this isn't a career ender for him. But this is a guy who's got a huge future ahead of him because he's a man and he knows how to be a real man does: go to work every day and give it your all. So his future is bright. I just hope this isn't getting him down. But maybe this will be even better because he'll get some time at home with his new baby, where he might have been on the road before.
I was hoping, because initially he thought it was just the meniscus, and I've had that surgery myself, and I was like, that's 3 months and, a little extra and he'll be back. But if that's the whole other thing, fortunately, they just signed their new contracts, the Wolves did. So, I mean, they're covered at least that way. It didn't happen in between, and then, they could have just told him to take a walk. We're not signing you.
Well, the thing is that when I went through my penis reduction surgery, it took me about 3 weeks to get over that. So I can only imagine a meniscus.
Yeah, how is that mangina?
Oh, I tell you, man, it's... Anyway, so
all you had to do was tuck it back, but
I know. Everybody always tells me it's tough when you sit in the toilet and it comes out blue. Anyway,
then you could do that. You could do that Silence of the Lambs dance.
I do that every morning.
Just do that, anyway.
No, but all seriousness, with and again, guys, you guys know me here at OneWrestling.com. I love to inject a little humor and kind of mess with your minds. But the fact is, yes, I'm hung like a horse. But
little humor.
What?
Subliminal.
What are you talking about? Anyway. The whole situation with Davey Richards and Ben, I agree with you 1,000%, man. These guys are just so damn good, and it does kind of break my heart a little bit to see because TNA has been pushing the Wolves as their mainstream #1 tag team in that division. And speaking of and now he's injured and he may be out for a few months. I'm praying to any god, but the one main god above that he can actually get through this and come back. But there's one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. And okay, Fabe, I think we spoke about this off air, and we may have mentioned this last week a little bit, but there is a tag team that's actually interested, that's made me interested again in the tag team division. And no, not those guys. Those guys are awesome, but not those guys. But I've never been a fan of Crazy Steve much.
Yes.
What? I gotta tell you something. I don't know, Ben, if you've been following, but they paired Crazy Steve up with Abyss and this young lady Decay who looks ridiculous. Her gimmick is on point. So they pull Crazy Steve out of this absolutely, in my opinion, stupid gimmick where they were a sideshow freaking carnival trying to save whatever the hell they were, whatever the menage a trois. But now they have this really deep, dark looking
scary clown.
Scary, crazy, because clowns are scary. Let me tell you something, guys. Go to YouTube and type in original Ronald McDonald. It is the most terrifying thing I've ever seen in my life. It was actually the guy that used to actually do the weather report for New York News. I forgot what the hell his name was.
Oh, the Today Show.
Yeah, that guy. He was the original Ronald McDonald. I can't remember his name. But long story short, I'm really loving Crazy Steve. I've been watching him now for a little over a year. The guy is great in the ring. He's very, very solid, in my humble opinion. Him and Abyss, dude, that's a really good. And that young lady, if I can call her that evil, what would you call her?
She's called in TNA. She's called Rosemary.
I love it. I absolutely love it. I think this team is something they can go. Yo, dude, do you think there's any way that I was gonna say Kurt Cobain, but he's been dead for over a decade. What's the gentleman that actually is heading TNA right now? For Smashing Pumpkins.
Billy Corgan.
I'm wondering if Billy Corgan has a hand. I'm gonna ask you, Ben. Do you think Billy Corgan has a hand in actually booking this team? Because I don't know anything about it. I'm hearing their music. I think they're using Marilyn Manson music.
They are, yeah.
Dude, have you heard anything regarding this? Because I'm legit, dude.
I haven't heard directly, but I've seen. When I was there, it was right in the heart of creative. Bob Ryder and all those guys that kind of have their own little universe where people float in and out, whether it's JB or whoever it is working to get the show done. And it definitely seems like it has his fingerprints all over it, style wise. I wasn't a fan of that Crazy Steve thing by itself that much either. But when, like I say, improv style, you yes and somebody and you put it together and all the pieces fit, now we have something magical.
Yes.
And we were shooting B-roll. I was just lucky to be over my buddy's shoulder there, and Abyss had that big-ass stick with all the spikes in it, and it was about a foot and a half from my nose, dude. That thing is legit as hell, bro.
Yeah.
It is scary, that thing up close. I mean, I carried the old flagpole with the phony ISIS flag on it, but that would be no match if you ever took that upside your head. But here's the thing. I'm super glad they have this going, and there's so much open, creative Wild West front that you can do with it. But to me, and I've worked a couple shows with Abyss, he's awesome. And he's a great
Love Abyss.
monster of what he should have been. This year at WrestleMania should have been Undertaker Abyss. That's the match that should have been.
Money.
And you're not going to get that, I don't think, ever now, because Abyss is going to be in TNA for 3 years, because this is going to get hot if they do it right. And obviously there would be too much to build, and if that had happened in WWE, Taker would be past that point. But this would have been the year, would have been unbelievable.
I love Abyss. I think that it's unfortunate that sometimes I feel like the character is misplaced as far as what they're trying to do with him. And I felt like for a while he was kind of just free floating. He would like have these really interesting feuds or something good with his character, and he kind of like just settle and linger, and then right back up again, and then same thing. So to put him with Steve is a really different dynamic, but it not only does great wonders for Steve and Rosemary as far as their characters are concerned, and sort of reinvigorate Steve, if you will, but it gives Abyss something to do as well too. So you have, again, another different dynamic, not just with the styles as far as power and, you could say, speed, but also the veteran and the rookie mixing together. The characters blend well. I'm all for this Decay tag team.
If I may, Christopher Joseph Park, or you know,
Big Dick Johnson.
Dude, this guy.
Esquire.
Let me tell you something. A lot of people used to crap on that lawyer gimmick. Chris Park is one of the most, in my opinion, one of the more talented guys in professional wrestling, period. And he's a big man that moves really, really, really well. He can actually, I mean, when he actually played that Joseph Park character, even though after a while you got a little tired of it. I mean, again, that's just how I feel. But
they drug it out for too long.
Yeah, they drug it out for a little too long. But it just showed me the immense talent, and I just can't wrap my head around why WWE wouldn't take this guy, even if they had to repackage him and change him up a little bit and just use this guy. I think he would have been amazing in the WWE with the missing teeth and the girth.
They've had negotiations in the past.
They have.
Yeah.
They just never wanted to pay him. TNA would always come forward and give him the money that WWF wasn't going to give him.
They could have got that payoff in 1 year in the last 3 years. He was that built by then. He could have been the first guy to jump from TNA and use his own name like AJ Styles did now. He should have come over as Abyss. But that's all what ifs, and again, we crushed those dreams earlier. We're not doing that anymore, right? So it's pretty much the fact that this is all open territory. Where you go from here, I think they're going to play right into that dark side of what's the movie coming out? I'm sorry. It's all the psychopaths who go and turn babyface. Will Smith's one of them.
Suicide Squad.
Thank you. Suicide Squad.
Kung Fu Panda. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda. That's what they're going to do. Jungle Book.
Barney 3, but go ahead.
But yeah, I think they're going to play right into that dark side of sinister villain comic book characters with this, where you love them and they're super scary at the same time. A fun type of heel where they can get good odd couple comedy, because Abyss can do that kind of funny comedy, just like we saw Kane and Daniel Bryan do. The work can handle anything if you approach it with the right stakes and the right comedic and satiric value. You can get amazing things out of dark characters that way. We've seen it in Batman plenty of times where the Joker interacts with his own men that way, or Penguin as well, where they do some dark comedy that way. So I'm really hoping that they adopt that style.
And the interesting part about Crazy Steve is, back in the day, Stan Hansen was one of the guys that couldn't barely see in the ring. He wore very thick glasses that he had to do. So whenever he was swinging chains around in Japan and throwing chairs and doing stuff. He didn't see who he was throwing them at and what he was doing until he was on top of you. Crazy Steve is legally blind, and he's able to do those high-flying moves and stuff. Not that he's blind.
What?
Like he doesn't need a walker.
Wait,
like,
what?
He's legally blind. He cannot drive a car. He is. Yeah.
Oh, that.
Well, hold on
so
a second.
much
Here,
more
like I would like to, there's plenty of guys with certain handicaps in the ring, but I remember my sophomore year of high school, state champion wrestler came in who was about 12 years older than me, just for a wrestling class, completely blind from birth, and this guy tuned up everybody on our team from the top on down. So as far as that goes, what might seem like a hindrance that way where it normally was, I got firsthand experience of pretty much getting Petrucci stacked by that guy in about 15 seconds.
I just think it's amazing that he does the high-flying moves that he does and nails it. You know, I mean, I missed you in Bethlehem, PA at those shows. I was there for the one night only. So I was because I was hoping I was big to go the same night you were going to go, and but I got to see his match, him coming out and doing it, and I was right there at the ramp coming off, and yeah, he was very entertaining, and it was my first chance getting to actually see him live, and to me that was a good crowd. What did you think? Was it a good crowd when you were there?
It felt good to me, especially the first night, man. When Dixie walked out, they had him over. But who I got to really put over is Jeremy Borash, man. That guy can get.
He works everything.
He could walk into a cemetery and he'd have those people coming out of the ground waving their hands in the air for 5 minutes for a fake raffle. You know, this guy, he knows how to do it night after night after night. And when you got to go out there as a performer and do it for 10, 15 minutes, he's putting in 2 hours like that every show, man. That is a drain.
Wait. You talking about 2 hour shows? What are you talking about, Sonny?
No, that's...
No?
I heard it was
different show.
47 minutes and change.
Wow. What?
Wait.
You timed that thing?
Now that's the thing they're saying that was the shoot that they were having with her in China, that she challenged China to have see if she could compete and be able to go the same length of time with the guy, or
what guy? What are we talking about?
I don't know, Ray. Help me.
I'm talking about the Sonny porno. What are you talking about?
What porno? What are you? What?
I don't know how we got.
Sonny has a porno.
And we're off the rails. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use this chance to kind of wrap things up here. I want to take this time to thank you guys for tuning in.
Remember this.
Oh, God.
Ray.
What?
Ray is a dirty, sick pig. It hasn't been said in a long time, but he's Pig Ray.
What?
Pig Ray.
How dare you?
Don't let the good looks fool you.
Folks, this will also be the last time you see Bill. Hamin has plans for him afterwards, but that's beside the point. We want to thank you guys for tuning in to watching us here on the Big Slam Nation right here on OneWrestling.com, as well as the OneWrestling.com video YouTube channel. And I'm going to turn things over to Big Ray to help us close out this show. Ray, I did what I could.
Oh,
the
dude,
show was...
you did a phenomenal job. Your first time. I'm actually going to tell my son Aiden to be quiet while I close this show off. Are you done? Are you done? Thank you.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can follow us here at One Wrestling. Follow me at Big Ray Show. Follow OKFabe at OKFabe on Twitter. Again, that's OKAFABE. You Got the Show, Bill Schuyler. Again, at You Got the Show or You Got the Show on Twitter. And, of course, the guys that couldn't be with us, Billy Ray Valentine at Billy Ray Hustle. We can follow also the Professor at PROF, PW Hustle. And, of course, 8-Track Brown at Pharaoh of Fancy. And don't forget Fame Black at Fame Black. And our guest... And I'm looking to make this guy a part of this family. Guys, girls, if you are interested in perhaps having Ben Hamin as a part of this family here, I would implore you to leave your comments here below. I'm pretty sure you would love to see this very, very articulate, crazy, wacky personality here on a weekly basis. I think we're going to work something out, but we'll talk about that later on. Ladies and gentlemen, follow him on Twitter at Ben_Hamin. Go to ProWrestlingTees.com and get that shirt. Why don't you show that shirt off real quick, dude?
That's awesome. That is an awesome
printing money.
The Ben Lebowski T-shirt, along with a whole bunch of other really, really cool shirts. And also, guys, this Sunday, depending on when you're watching this video, go to the Sunday Segway TV show. Again, Sunday Segway here at OneWrestling.com. Follow at Kenny Killer. Follow at Tom Brady 94_. I can't believe I remember that. And of course, again, Fame Black. Ladies and gentlemen, I always say this, I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. Okay, Fabe, take us home, brother.
Want to make sure to thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate all the continued love and support. Again, make sure you follow the entire OneWrestling.com family. Social media links, as Big Ray just said, down in the description box below.
What is this?
What is what?
I just got a picture of you giving me the finger.
No, I was just showing you my new shirt.
Why would you do that?
Why? I don't know. Why? Because I wanted to show you the new shirt.
This freaking respectful. Aiden, why don't you give me a good chop to the chest? Oh!
Woo!
Wow. Anyway.
Can you give me a good work punch? A good work punch.
Good potato.
Oh.
And he's concussed. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching again.
That wasn't a work punch.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're going to get a goose egg from that one.
I think I'm bleeding internally.
Kind of Listen, if he aims for the center, it'll balance everything out. Thank you guys again for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and of course, to quote the great Bill Apter, we will see you
at the matches.
Matches, infidel.
Peace out. Ya Allah. Haha, sold your gimmick, homie.
One Wrestling here.
One.
Big Slam Nation 1-7. Ben Hamin. Check yourself, infidel.